It is Tuesday night here on the JEFF MEACHAM NETWORk. And only one thing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is time for Stat Boy Sports Bar. Here's your host, Stat Boy Mike.
Hello, my internet fans. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Bar as we continue this crazy weekly episodic show that brings you all the stats and all the numbers and all the insights and all the rants and everything else you can possibly think of. I, of course, am, as the shirt says, I am Stat Boy. Welcome to my establishment. We started off our show in memoriam as if not the greatest home run king ever, good old Hammerin' Hank Aaron, who passed away on January 22nd at the age of 86. Of course, 755 home runs. What more can you say? I mean, also he had the record of 2,297 RBIs, 1,477 extra base hits, 25 All-Star appearances, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1982. He began his career, he started spring training in 1954 and went on through Milwaukee, and he just kept hitting home runs, home run after home run after home run, until the magic number of 755, and sadly it was broken under with an asterisk up there, you know, with
Dubious
bonds.
Circumstances.
Yeah, really. And
we're actually just talking about that earlier today. There was nobody elected for the first time to the Baseball Hall of Fame today. Nobody got enough votes out of the guys on the ballot to actually get inducted.
Wow.
That's how marred the game is with shit like that. Excuse my language, but yeah, it's how it is. It sucks. You know, lest we forget, for those of us in the wrestling world, if it was not for Hank Aaron, we may not have Eric Bischoff in our history books. Just saying. Just saying. He went from a C-level announcer to running the show because Hammer and Hank did not like the Cowboys' verbiage in the interview. Off we went.
Of course, the big day took place April 8th, 1974, as the Braves played the Dodgers that day.
Ironically enough.
Yeah. That's when that was the 7:15, and then 7:33 was on October 2nd, 1974. And then 7:55 was on July 20th, 1976. Against the Angels, apparently, it looked like. So, hey, he took out both California teams with one home run shot.
And you know what? It's you know, Hank Aaron not only broke records, he followed in the trail blazed by Jackie Robinson and a lot of other guys. And he was a superstar baseball player, superstar athlete in a time where that wasn't always the case with those guys. So good on him for that. Good on him for staying with the game. Good on him for even working in Turner Broadcasting, because that's a job in and of itself, working for Ted Turner. Good grief. So good on him taking a post in Atlanta there, because remember the Braves moved to Atlanta from Milwaukee, so he stayed with the Braves and with Atlanta and with Turner all throughout his life. So very cool to see him. Unfortunately, he's passed away, obviously, but he definitely earned his recognition as one of the all-time greats. And yes, Michael, Cooperstown kind of is what it is. You know, you have to remember, they try to keep the integrity of the game intact when they do their inductions, and which is why you will never see the Black Sox inducted ever, I don't think.
Nope. And I think
as of now, you won't see Pete Rose, and I disagree with that personally, but I understand.
That ship has sailed. He had his chances with that, I believe.
But you know what? It's one of those things where you and I talked about this on this show, Mikey. You know, a formal apology is in order, and I don't know if he's actually, issued that or not. But if you go by stats alone, Rose is a Hall of Famer, and he is who he is. But by that same token, if I say that, then I should be okay with Barry Bonds going in, or so and so. King scored. Woo! Sorry, on as we do this live, so fair warning. Anyway, so there's a lot of things involved with. Unfortunately, the Baseball Hall of Fame is like any other entity where there's agendas. There's always, whether they mean to or not, kind of is what it is. Oh, I get a salad. Look at this. And here's the Bubba making a big brief cameo. Hello.
Hey, nephew. How's it going?
He says, "Hey, nephew, how's it going?"
Smile on his face.
Got a Cody Bellinger shirt and Santa pants on. He's just rocking the wardrobe today.
Hey, there you go. I think I remember Hank Aaron actually made an appearance on WCW television.
He did. If you saw the RIP there I did at the beginning, there's a shot of him with Tony Schiavone. Ironically, I cut Bill Watts out of that picture.
Oh, now why would you go and do that?
Because I didn't think it was a good idea to have Bill Watts in a picture with Hank because of how Bill Watts.
I think I remember him in the ring with Sting. I'm thinking Sting said so.
And I know for sure he was ringside at Halloween Havoc when Sting was sitting there with Muhammad Ali. I know that for a fact. I'm on the air. What do you want?
Have you seen the Superstar Spectacle?
What?
Have you seen the Superstar?
The thing it did in India today, or for the people in India? Yes, I did see it.
Good. I was going to ask about that.
Can I please go back to making money and eat my dinner now? Go. Thank you. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, I think it was. I want to say it was almost a Clash of Champions where I just don't remember the actual, but. And also, we lost television and radio host Larry King. Of course, I've been watching CNN because of all the shenanigans in Washington. But of course, Larry King had no problems interviewing anybody. He made a thing where he would do this. He would lean into the guests, so he would get that personable feeling. And of course, his interviews are legendary. Go online and find them. There was no question he wouldn't ask, and there was nobody he wouldn't interview. And recently, I've talked about my roommate Adam, who lives here with me. One night we were talking about the Beatles and their cultural status in the world and whatnot, and he wanted to know about John Lennon and Mark David Chapman. So what do? I tell him the stories. I go online, I go on YouTube, and I find the Larry King interview with Mark David Chapman in prison, of course. And it was just one of those interviews. I think he flat out said it. He's like, "Why did you do it?" And of course, Mark David Chapman probably had no remorse back then, but I don't remember what it is now. And Chris Cuomo of CNN, he actually did a nice tribute last night, saying, because he has Larry King's time slot now, and he did a nice little thing. He was in Fighting Back the Tears and whatnot. So, go on YouTube. You can't say anything more. They're legendary. They're definitely Stat Boy approved. They're definitely, up there in the upper echelon of television interviews. So
unfortunately, Larry got swept up in that whole shitstorm with what happened with Chris Benoit. My goodness, 14 years ago now. But Chris Jericho, in his second book, Undisputed, made it a point to say he was only going to do 2 interviews to talk about Chris Benoit: Larry King and People Magazine. He made it a point to say those were the entities he was going to be discussing it with, because he knew that the message would get across the right way. And I was not quite at all about how I felt about the early discussions about Chris's what happened with the Benoit family, particularly Nancy Grace. I was very hard on her, and I stand by that to this day. I was a rather nasty in my verbiage, but I stand by my convictions and what I said then. Larry King never allowed it to get too far out of hand, and I will always be as a fan of the business and as somebody who's been involved with the business now, I am grateful to Larry for that kind of professionalism. So.
There you go. All right, friends, let's get into the what's on tap and let's get the drinks pouring. Let's take care of our sports business for the week so we can continue on. And I think I should have told you this earlier. I'm going to change up this stuff a little bit. Let's get football out of the way because football is winding down, getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And the first announcement I want to make, and I've made this statement on our group page, Football Squares is now open for business. So for those of you in the chat room not wanting to super chat, now is the time to do it because here's what's going to go on. If you want to buy your squares now during this broadcast, send a super chat with how much and send a super chat with the squares you want to buy. We're already at 11 squares sold. They are $5 each, 5 squares max per player.
Let me see if I can find the graphics so people know what they're looking at.
Yes, I don't have an updated picture ready, but I did put it up on the group page, so it is there. So if you want to buy it during the course of this broadcast, super chat the money. I'll stop what I'm doing, and we'll take care of you right then and there. Of course, the rules of the game are simple. When we watch the Super Bowl on February 7th, there's a grid of 100 squares. The Chiefs numbers will go on the top of the grid. The Buccaneers numbers will go on the left side of the grid. Whatever the score ends up, yeah, I believe that's it. You're showing it. However the score ends up for each quarter of play, that number square will form an intersection, and that's the winning square. The numbers will be put up as the squares get sold or until we reach like late Saturday afternoon going into Sunday morning. So, and that's going to be done by a random draw, which I will either do live late Saturday night on the Statboy page, or I will do it first thing Sunday morning. And I've decided that I'm going to take 20 cards from a deck of cards. I'm going to take the ace through the 10, with the ace being 1 and the 10 being the 0. The red hearts or diamonds will be the Chiefs numbers. The black clubs and spades, those will be the Buccaneers numbers. I will mix up those 20 numbers. I will deal them out. That will be the order for the squares. Then I'll send out one giant picture of the grid, and we'll see who wins. Remember, $5 per square, maximum of 5. Send in those super chats, please. Now, if you're not watching live, there's the grid right there, as you can see. Thank you, Jeff. It's a 10 by 10 square. Some people have already bought their squares already. I've got 89 squares left out of 100. So if you attempt to buy a square that's already been purchased, you'll have to pick another one. All right. So if you're not watching live, if you're watching on demand, or however you want to call it, then you go into messaging me on Facebook, sending me a tweet, find some way to get a hold of me, PayPal or Zelle me the money. It goes into the pot, and we do that. So far, the 3 players so far that have played and paid are Dory, my roommate, T-Fame of the No DQ Wrestling Challenge Trivia, and Big Baller G of our channel and our loyal friend and patron. So those 3 players are in. Renegade is going to get to me the next day. He's thinking about it. I hope he comes in. So send those super chats during the course of the broadcast. Okay? Good. Now let's get down to the football games at hand. Of course, Tampa Bay took on Green Bay. The Battle of the Bays at Lambeau Field. And the Ageless Wonder wins again. Tom Brady defeats the Packers 31-26. Tom Brady went 20 of 36 for 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers went 33 of 48 for 346 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. The last play of the last drive that Green Bay had, as they had a 1st and goal. They had the chance to take the lead, and from what I saw, Rodgers had enough room where he could have ran the ball in twice on 2nd down and 3rd down of their last possession. Why he didn't run and gun and go for it, I have no idea. Instead, he kicks the field goal. This was when the score was 31-23. He would have. I'm yelling at the screen, "Run, Aaron, run! You've got the room." Instead, they kick the field goal around the 2-minute warning, and then they still had their timeouts. They were thinking they were going to get the ball back, and they would have. Instead, Kevin King gets called for pass interference by pulling on one of the Tampa Bay's jersey. That's called pass interference. The Buccaneers get a new set of downs. Green Bay uses up all their timeouts. They can't stop the clock. Tampa Bay wins. They move on to the Super Bowl. This is now Super Bowl number 10 for Tom Brady. And who knows what's going on. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers was not going to win this game because he had lost 3 straight championship games. Now it's at 4. And also, Tampa Bay is the first non-division winner to go to the Super Bowl since the Packers in 2010. He's going for ring number 7.
Brady now has the same amount of NFC championships as Rodgers and Brees. You can't stop him. You can't.
You can't. Record upon record upon record.
I know. It's ridiculous. Big match Tom, baby. I'm telling you, he's just like seeing it.
So now he's probably, more than likely now, he's the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk. So then he's probably going to go one more season to get the pass record yardage. He's going to pass. I don't know how much he has, but it's below 80,000, and that's what Drew has. So then he'll probably go on and win another Super Bowl. Heck,
I've allowed myself the courtesy of not hating on Tom Brady or anybody. At this point, it's all about Belichick. I can't stand him. Never liked him. And he crashed and burned miserably without Tom and Rob Gronkowski. So I'm okay with his demise once and for all. So that's fine. But Brady, it's, of course it doesn't hurt that I'm friends with a couple of Patriots fans that work up in the tower in Connecticut. That doesn't hurt my problem with them either. But it's JBL said years ago, it's hard to bet against Big Match John Cena. It is becoming harder and harder to bet against Tom Brady, no matter how old he gets. He's got like kryptonite blood or something. He's got Kryptonian blood, I swear to God.
So he's probably going to. How about this? If he gets a ring for every finger, he can stop. Right. Because he has. And then I'll eat my words and proclaim him as the greatest of all time.
Well, again, it's a very heated topic because of the circumstances in which he won a few championships because of the cheating stuff that the Patriots pulled with him at the helm. It's unfortunate for him because he was directly involved. There's no denying it. But at the same time, I sat back and I watched that game Sunday and I went, how the heck he pulled this team out of the shithole and they're going to play in the championship. They're playing the Super Bowl. It's crazy.
And they're playing against young Patrick Mahomes. This is like the teacher and the student. Here we go.
I saw your post. Kansas. I saw. No, it wasn't a post. It was a discussion.
It was.
Yeah. You. I don't know if you posted it or Jay posted it in our group chat, but you put the comparison of Brady and Mahomes to Hogan Rock from 2002.
I think Renegade did that one. That sounds more like something he would do than me.
By the way, it's not far off. I mean, Hogan was the guy. Even with Stone Cold matching his box office and everything like that, Hogan was the old lion that refused to go down. Austin walked away on his own of his own volition the first time. He had to retire because of the neck injuries, whatever. That's fine. But Steve walked away. Hulk didn't, man. He kept going and he kept finding ways to produce that magic. Brady's doing the same thing. And Mahomes definitely has a job ahead of him. Yes, he made it back out of concussion protocol. Yes, he kicked ass the other night. But he still has one more game to win. And Patrick Mahomes is a great, great team leader. I just don't know if he can take Brady down.
I don't know either. But he took Josh Allen down as the Chiefs won 38-24. Josh Allen went 28 of 48 for 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Patrick Mahomes went 29 of 38 for 325 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. The quick notes: the Chiefs are now on a 5 straight playoff game streak, the longest in franchise history. Let's see what else we can find.
And yes, Anthony, I realized Mahomes beat Brady earlier, but it wasn't February back then.
Mahomes is the first quarterback to win multiple conference championship games prior to his 26th birthday. Andy Reid has tied Joe Gibbs for the 4th most postseason victories by a head coach. The Chiefs are the 11th defending Super Bowl champion to host a conference championship. And I think that they're also the first one that can possibly go back-to-back. If you remember, our good friend Jennifer Carr said the Chiefs were going all the way, and I hope she's right.
You know, we talked about that, her and I. Minnesota scored. Sorry.
Dory's happy.
It's gonna be one of those games, kids. So anyway, she said back then that, of course, her heart lies with where it lies as far as the Patriots and everything, but the Chiefs have been very, very hard to bet against. And yes, Mahomes has beat Brady twice. I realize that, Joe, but they haven't beat Brady in a Super Bowl at home. Lest we forget that. We talked about that last week. The Buccaneers are the first team to host a Super Bowl in their own stadium. That's ridiculous how stuff worked out. Like, it's crazy.
And Tampa Bay is allowing 22,000 fans to be in the stadium with social distancing guidelines, of course.
Because that because their boy Brady and Gronk are both in the Super Bowl, Vince and Hunter are watching, okay, how are they going to do this seeding thing? So we can do this in a few weeks.
Exactly.
Because I also think it's the first time that a stadium has hosted a Super Bowl and a WrestleMania in the same calendar year of January 1st, December 31st. I'm pretty sure this is the first time it's ever happened. So
sounds about right.
Crazy.
So it is extremely crazy, and I will give you that. So as far as the rankings go, it's just a quick list. There's only 4 teams left. So well, there's 2 teams left going into the Super Bowl, but as far as the rankings go, there's only 4 teams left that we can put up.
Well, I didn't have football queued up because I didn't think we'd have to do that.
You don't really have to. It's easy to put up. The team number 4 are the Bills. Team number 3 are the Packers, and of course, Tampa Bay and Kansas City are 1 and 2.
Of course,
that's fine. Actually, the Bucks are, 5, the ranked number 5 because they were a wild card team, but because they scored more points than the Chiefs did, they are 1 and 2. And whichever team, of course, wins the Super Bowl gets the number 1 ranking in my power rankings, and that's the way that the rankings will stay until we start up next season. Okay. Okay.
They got close. I apologize for my watching out. They did not score yet. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So again, Football Squares is up. Send in those super chats. We've got about, I think, an hour more to kill. So I really want to see this. More than likely, yeah. As long as my battery holds out. That's what I want to see. I do have my window here open on the chat room. I am keeping an eye on it. I do see that there are there's people in there. Come on, guys. Now is the time. Send super chats for your. I know you guys want to play. Come on. Hit that button. There you go. All right, we're going to talk about basketball next.
Okay.
And then we'll do the hockey and the wrestling and everything else and then we'll be done. That's how it works.
All right.
In basketball, the Cleveland Cavaliers scored a new season high, and this is also not just their record, but it's also a league game this season. They scored 147 points in a double overtime game against Brooklyn. The highest scoring game ever, I went back into the record books, was all the way back in December of 1983 when the Pistons beat the Nuggets 186 to 184. That's in a game that went to triple overtime. The most recent high-scoring game was on March 1st, 2019, when the Bulls defeated the Hawks 168 to 161 in a match that went into 4 overtimes. And the most points scored in the playoffs go to the 1990 Boston Celtics when they scored 157 points in a first-round matchup against the New York Knicks. This was just me going back and looking for basketball news because points that high, it's almost like you're playing NBA Jam with legitimate time on the clock and you're just shooting threes every which possible. Of course, the record for most points in a game still belongs to Wilt Chamberlain, going all the way back to 1962 when he scored 100 points. Of course, the one that comes closest to that was actually in this current era, it was Steph Curry who scored 62 points just earlier this month on January 3rd. And of course, nobody can forget what Kobe Bryant did on his last game with the Lakers, scoring 60 points. And of course, the anniversary, I believe, is today. Is it not today? Yeah. So I don't know. I guess that's just how the calendar falls. And of course, everyone still remembers Kobe. Everyone still loves Kobe. Murals are popping up all over the place. In fact, I did see on the news one time, there's a news story where someone has an app all over the world. It's global. Everywhere that somebody has put up a mural for Kobe and Gianna. So of course it's been a tough year for all of us going through the pandemic, losing Kobe and everything else. But as long as he's memorialized, he will never be truly forgotten. As far as win streaks going on with the basketball teams, the Utah Jazz have an 8-game win streak going on. The Clippers have a 6-game win streak going on. And of course, let's not talk about our hometown heroes, the LA Lakers, who have a 10-game road streak on the road. On the road, the Lakers are unstoppable. Last night's game, LeBron James played like he's supposed to be playing, scoring a season-high 46 points. And that's the LeBron that I like to watch, where he's just dominating and scoring on everybody. And LeBron is just not a player in the point. He can shoot three-pointers. He can dunk on you. He can go in the paint. He can make free throws. He can do everything he's supposed to do. And that's the player I like the best. So is he getting up there as far as the all-time record? He's getting closer. Right now he's at 34,648 points. Karl Malone, of course, is at 36,928. So he needs to average 42.2 points a game to pass that. It was touched on I believe ESPN, they were saying if LeBron wants this title by this year, that's the way he's got to play. Of course, LeBron, being LeBron, in his post-game interview said he thanks his mama because he got to go home to Cleveland. He played against the Cavaliers last night. He saw his family. He enjoyed a beautiful home-cooked meal. These are his words. He saw his mama. He saw his uncle. He gave thanks to his mama. So maybe he just needs to stay home more when he can, have a good, beautiful meal, spend time with his family, and score 40 points. That's the secret to good basketball. Stay with your family, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, here, I'm gonna do a brief hot take, and I'll let you continue on with your NBA stuff.
Okay.
You always hear about that LeBron's the best ever, Kobe was the best ever, whatever. Kobe stayed talented until he retired. Like he didn't he very rarely had an off game or a off season where he was not scoring a whole lot, right? Michael Jordan. The only time he had a quote unquote low scoring season for him anyway was Washington. When he was the Bulls, he dominated his entire run there. I heard you mention that LeBron's getting up there as far as the points. He's also getting up there in his time in the league. Let us not kid ourselves, folks. He's been around a long damn time. Okay, if he's going to get near Malone's points, and if he's going to even try to dare to hit Kareem's number, which is not going to happen, I don't think. He needs to play the way he played against Cleveland every night. And I don't see that being a thing long term for him. I'm not denouncing the guy. I'm not, shutting him down. I just don't see it being a possibility for that length of time in order for him to attain that goal. So anyway, that's my hot take for the night. Take with it what you will.
I like it. So what does this mean for the power rankings? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Are we ready with the graphics, or are we just going to go for it?
We are so-so. But
we are so-so? Okay. Well, we'll wing it. If they pop up, they pop up. If they don't, they don't. At the bottom of the barrel, team number 30 with a record of 3-9 and averaging 118.8 points, Washington Wizards.
Speaking of Jordan.
Team number 29 at 4-13 with 109.5, Detroit. Team number 28 at a record of 4-12 and 107.1, Minnesota, the Timberwolves. Dory is not happy about that. There, the Timberwolves. Team number 27 at a record of 5-10, 109.3 points, the Pelicans. Next three teams, they have 6 victories each, 6-10 with 107.8 points, Miami. Team number 25, also at 6-10, but scoring more points at 112.4, Sacramento, the Kings. And team number 24 at 6-9 with 110.7, Houston, the Rockets. The next few teams have 7 victories each.
Hang on, I can't find Houston. I forgot their logo looks like.
That's okay.
There they are.
That's all right. There you go. You would think the Houston Rockets would actually have a rocket as a logo. Instead, it's just an R with a ring around it. With what looks like to be maybe fire coming out the bottom of the R, but I mean,
like a jet fuel streaks.
Yeah, it should be a rocket, you think. Team number 23, 7-10 at 107.8, Charlotte Hornets. Well, there we go. Team number 22, also at 7-10, scoring 110 or averaging 110.5, Toronto. Team number 21, also 7-10, with averaging 115.3, Chicago, the Bulls.
Bulls.
Team number 20 at 7-9. They're at 106.5, Oklahoma City, the Thunder. Next team number 19 at 7-6. They are a little bit behind as far as games played. I believe they've had a lot of games postponed due to health and safety violations and all that. Memphis. There have been a lot of games being postponed. I think I've seen at least 2 games postponed every day for the past week. Thank you. Team number 18. Now we're in the 8-win teams at 8 and 10 with 101.9. New York. The Knicks. Team number 17, also at 8 and 10 with 105.5. Orlando. Team number 16, 8 and 9, 105.1. The team we just talked about with LeBron, it's the Cleveland Cavaliers. Also at 8 and 9, 109.6 average score. Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks. Team number 14, they're at 500, 8 and 8, 112.4. Atlanta. We just talked about Atlanta. Well, we talked about WCW, but team number 13, 8.
The Hawks produced El Quijante, so there you go.
Oh, there you go. Team number 13 at 8 and 7 with 111.1 points. Phoenix. The Suns. Yes, I stuck my tongue out, so what? Team number 12. We're in the teams that have 9 wins now. They are 9 and 8 with 111.4. San Antonio Spurs. Team number 11, they are also 9 and 8 at 112.6. They represent all of California, the Golden State Warriors. Now we're in the teams that have, except you. We're in the top 10. The last team to have 9 victories as of yesterday, 9 and 7 with 115.4. It's the Portland Trail Blazers. All the remaining teams at least have 10 victories or more. Team number 9, Indiana at 10 and 7 with 113.6. Team number 8 at 10 and 7 as well, scoring 116.8 points. There's gold, and then the Orioles, Denver Nuggets. They're looking for gold in Denver. That's what
you need to come to LA for the game supposed to play.
That's right. Team number 6 at 10 and 6. Milwaukee with the highest point average at 120.1. A lot of NBA analysts are already saying that it's going to be an LA-Milwaukee final. LeBron versus Giannis, which is a matchup I would love to see in the finals. That way, in fact, I'm saying that now. I want that matchup. I want LA versus Milwaukee. And but what will I wear? If I get it, if I ever buy that Greek Freak shirt that I want to get, it'll be Milwaukee. I guess I'll be rooting for Milwaukee over LA, depending on how well they play. We'll see. Team number 5 at 11 and 8. Brooklyn. My heritage goes over my place of origin, okay? I'm more Greek than LA. Okay, I'm more Greek than California. How about that? Team number 4 at 12 and 6. Philadelphia. Team number 3, they are hot. They've got that 8-game win streak. Don't sleep on them. Otherwise, they're going to take over the West, which is the team I believe that Charles Barkley should have put money on instead of the Trailblazers, Utah. That only leaves 2 teams left. They're both from LA. Team number 2 at 13 and 4, 114.8. It's the Clippers. And I think for the 3rd week in a row, as it should be, The number one team at 14-4 with a 10-game road winning streak. Your world champion, LA Lakers.
Not that I want to do this on purpose, because Lord knows I don't want to give them any acknowledgement. I didn't hear you say Boston once.
I didn't say Boston? Oh, I skipped them. I'm sorry.
Yes, you did.
Boston falls in between Denver and Milwaukee. They are ranked 7th. So to all the Boston Celtic fans, I apologize.
Okay. All two of you are bad. Anyway, I don't care.
So that's all we got for basketball this week.
Yes.
And now we're moving into what's going to be the top spot for the next few weeks. We're going into hockey.
Baby. And one of my 2 shout outs will be after this segment's over.
Very good. So in the world of hockey, let's see what news I've brought up on hockey. Well, the first team to get fined took place. The Capitals, $100,000 for violations of NHL COVID protocol involving social interactions among team members without face masks. Washington.
It's all fake news.
No, you did not say that. Oh, he's gone. He doesn't exist on this channel.
That's fake news.
No fake news. Real news.
Did read Epoch News. I still exist in the White House. The Capitals just stormed the Capitol.
I tap out. No. Look at that. I lost my camera and everything. That was funny right there. Okay, I'll give you a point for that one. That's all I'm going to give you. Now, if I can set my camera back up without chopping my head off. Yeah, that's real good.
One damn point? Damn, that was...
All right, fine. You get a field goal, 3 points. You scored a hat trick. Good enough? Fine. So, yeah, Washington, what are you doing? I mean, come on. Come on, Capitals. You're in the area where the laws are being made, and they are telling you to wear a mask, and you're not following the head guy. What's wrong with you? No wonder you're being spent $100,000.
That's because their head guy's this big, Mikey.
Oh, I forgot about
Remember
that.
Bettman the Midget?
Gotcha. Here's a name you know, Jeff. Tyler Toffoli.
Yes. Player of the week.
Got himself a hat trick in a matchup against the Vancouver Canucks. In fact, I sent the video clip of you guys. They mentioned the world famous, or the LA famous, that 70s line. I believe Toffoli and Pearson were battling over the puck, and they said, there's the 70s line. And they're like, nope, Jeff Carter's still in LA. So way to go, Tyler, for that one. The Dallas Stars, they finally got to get their season opener, and boy, they came out the gate faster than a racehorse at Santa Anita. A 7-0 shutout against Nashville. 7 goals. The record is 8 goals this season by Colorado. How about that? Now, what's going on, Jeff, when a team scores 7 goals? Or usually, I would think that the average in a standard hockey game would be 4 goals. Would you agree with that?
Roughly.
5, your goalie is either just not having a good day.
The NHL is a 3-2 league.
Last game, he let 7 pucks get past him.
When was that?
This was early 2000s when the Wings. It was 2001 because the Wings advanced to win the cup after that.
Very well done. Thank you. Go ahead, Jeff.
It's been said for many years that the NHL is a 3-2 league. If you get 3 goals, you're going to win the game. It's pretty much locked. And if your opponent scores 2 or less, obviously they're not going to beat 3-2. So it's been said for many years, like I said, that it's a 3-2 league. But yeah, the average goals I've seen in a winning team has been roughly 3. It has been 4 more often than not the last few years, because these kids are getting more talented, they're more athletic, they're stronger, they're faster, they're everything. They're breeding these kids in a factory, it feels like, I swear to God. So that's why you're seeing 4, 5, 6 goal games. But 7 out of Dallas is extraordinary, I think. But remember, Dallas has been suffering for a while too. They've been kind of in the doldrums.
They haven't been playing. they finally got to get on the ice after a 9-day delay
overall.
Oh. So you don't think they're really going to – do you think they'll do it again at some point?
I don't think they're going to maintain a 7-goal average. That's kind of silly. I don't think they're going to like we say in any sport, any given day, things can happen. Dallas is a 500 team, but I don't know if they'll, get up there into the later part of the playoffs come summer. I do know that I said week 1 that Toronto and Vegas would be up there, and God almighty, Vegas just keeps on winning, and so does Toronto. Toronto keeps making things happen. So,
also a big piece of news: Pierre-Luc Dubois, who was with the Columbus Blue Jackets, got traded to Winnipeg after allowing himself to, I guess, let it be known that he was not happy after signing a 2-year contract with the team. He got no ice time. So 2 weeks after signing the contract, he declared to his executives, I want to be traded. He got his wish. Again, what's the point? I mean, if you're signing a contract and the problem I have with some players, it's like they're not treated like a player. They're treated like property.
They are.
They are, but I mean, that's what I don't like about it. You cannot put a price tag on a person. You can't. Okay. Go ahead. Rebut.
Well, it's the only thing is it's very much, you get what the team acquiring you thinks you're worth. But you also have to fight with what you think you're worth. The greatest example of that is a person I'm going to shout out later I'll touch upon it then, but he came to a team looking to bring a championship to that team for the very first time. It didn't happen. They got close a couple times, and then when they got really, really crappy toward the end of his run, he said, trade me. Send me somewhere else. I want to be on a contending team. He went to a team that wasn't going to contend that year, but, he was just trying to get out of there at that point. So the following year, when he was a free agent again, he signed with a team he felt would win. He ended up not winning the Stanley Cup again after he had previously. So there is that. But yeah, it really depends. There's a lot of things that go into trading and free agency and the like. You remember the player knows what they're worth in their heart and in their own strength measurements, but the team scouts are watching every single player in every single facet of the game. They know what they're looking for. They know what the general manager's looking for, what the coach is looking for, who's going to work with the team. All these things are factored in. This guy, I forget the name. I apologize already, but
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Here, thank you. Yeah, it became very clear to him right away it was not going to work. He was benched for 2 weeks, and he wants to play. So I feel he was in the right to request to be traded. By the same token, pardon me if splatter green all over my screen here. Corey Perry is worth a lot more than sitting there in waiver land. He is. He's a decent player. He deserves playing time, regardless of how I think of his overall conduct on the ice itself.
I was about to say, coming from you and you saying that about him, that's surprising.
Exactly. So for him to just now get into the game, only because Montreal had to call on their taxi squad to call somebody up because of an injury or something, that speaks volumes of how it's not just what the contract says. It's what everybody involved in that thinks. The scouts, the coaches, the GM, the team, harmony, all of it. I will guarantee you 5-1, a big part of why Corey Perry was put on waivers is because of team harmony. Because, most of the guys you talk to here in Anaheim, they will tell you Corey was good to have around. But the other 31 teams are like, please bench him forever. He is a pain in our ass. He's a little shit stain on the ice. We don't want him around. So Montreal, for their having won 4,000 cups, they need harmony on the ice. And Corey Perry is not always that guy. So there is that. So I can see why Peter would ask.
How many cups does Montreal have?
I think as many as the Yankees have World Series, but I will double check that right now.
Aaron, how many cups do the Red Wings have?
What's the Montreal?
11.
Oh no way! No way! Really that high?
Yeah.
Wow.
We actually told a joke. I was telling up. I found a lot of hockey jokes, and I think it went something like, "Why can't insert team here drink on their home ice?" And the punchline was because all the cups were in Montreal and Detroit.
Yeah. Well, that's very true.
Yeah. So.
All right. For what it's worth, according to NHL.com, it is Montreal with 30. Well, that's I want appearances. I want wins.
Montreal 24, Maple Leafs 13, Detroit is 11.
Yeah, that.
And Boston is trailing in fourth with 6 cups.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay. 24 cups. Yikes.
This damn thing is so confusing. But thank Aaron for me, because I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I can't seem to get this thing to load.
Jeff,
so thanks, Aaron.
He says thank you. And I thank you as well. That's very impressive work.
No, I did.
There it is.
Cool.
Okay.
It's okay. No, don't divulge your secrets.
Oh, it's all good.
Never divulge your secrets.
Montreal 23. So, and I think Yankees have what, 27? World Series?
Yes, that sounds about right. Yeah, 27 world titles for the Yankees, and I think the Celtics are up there too. I think they're in the 20s, I think, as well.
Right. And for what it's worth, prior to the NHL becoming a thing, the original Ottawa Senators had 6 Stanley Cups.
Right.
So Celtics
Montreal Wanderer. Okay.
17 championships.
17. There you go. Titles galore.
The Lakers also have a title with 17.
There you go.
Chicago has 6.
Titles everywhere, and not a drop.
So
let's get. Don't start.
It's not
baseball season yet. Don't go there.
I'm sorry.
You're cut off. I'm cutting you off. You're done.
I ain't drinking too much. I know.
You should be drinking. You're in the sports.
27 World Series for Yankees.
27. There you go. And that's higher than anybody, right? No one else has got any other title.
The only one is second place is St. Louis with 11.
Yeah.
Now,
Red Sox have 9 and Dodgers have
9. Whoops.
You've been swearing a few times, so I get this.
I haven't said the F word once today. I've been very good about that.
Okay. So let's get into the rankings, and then we're going to talk about some wrestling on TV.
Well, because apparently NHL shout out, so don't forget that.
And then we should do our shout outs. So the bottom team number 31, they only have 3 points. They scored 13 goals. They've given up 15. They have a record of 1-3-1. It's the New York Rangers.
Damn, Rangers fell flat.
Rangers, yeah, they went down pretty quick. Team number 30, they also have 3 points, but they've scored more goals. They have 15 goals scored. They've given up 27 goals. They have a record of 1-4-1. Our first team from Ottawa, our first team from Canada, the Ottawa Senators.
Laura, we're sorry.
Team number 29, they have only 4 points. They've scored 12 goals. They've given up 20. They have a record of 2-4-0. It's Detroit.
Oh wow, where are they on my list here? Oh wait, they're up here further. That's right. There we go. Okay. Remember, this says from yesterday, y'all.
This is as of yesterday. Remember, it's a weekly thing. Team number 28, the first team in our circle of hockey teams. 4 points, 12 goals scored, 17 goals allowed, a record of 2-3. Nashville, the Predators.
Oh, Nashville. I always forget they're in our circle because of.
Yes, I'm gonna keep track of our. So
I didn't put Nashville in the queue, so I keep forgetting to add their logo. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. My bad. I fix next week, I promise.
That's fine.
Okay.
So, team number 27, 4 points, 20 goals scored, 8 goals allowed, record of 2-2-2. They're playing Minnesota right now. It's the Kings.
and they're up 1-0 as the third period starts. So,
I forgot to. Okay, hold on. I forgot to do one thing. Let me go back quickly. I forgot to put in. No. I forgot to put up. I need to do a split screen here because I have to do my who's doing the best on the team as well. I forgot about that. So let me go back to the Rangers.
Okay.
Quickly, yeah. You don't have to bring up. Yeah, you don't have to bring up the logo, but it'll just be me.
I'll do the Kings for a while then.
Artemi Panarin is still atop the Rangers. 2 weeks at running, 2 goals, one of them on the power play, and 4 assists. On the Ottawa Senators, we have a new top guy. Chris Tierney takes over from Thomas Chabot. He has 3 goals on that. And with the Red Wings, the top guy is still Bobby Ryan at 4 goals and 1 assist. And currently, and now since we're on the Kings and we have to go to Nashville next. Nashville is still Philippe Forsberg. He has 4 goals, one of them on the power play. And now with the Kings, we have a new king on top, and that would be Adrian Kempe with 3 goals, one of them on the power play, and 2 assists. Andreas Athanasiou. Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, in the 2 promos for the Kings' last 2 games before the one they're playing right now, of course, there was the tweet out that said that Athanasiou was going for the record of consecutive goals, which he did not break. Then they talked about having 4 points in 4 games. That streak got broken as well. So now Kempe is up there on top with his 3 goals.
But lest we forget, the overall points leader right now in the league is Mr. Kopitar.
Yes, with 1 goal and 9 assists.
Yeah, so he's the assist leader. The overall goal leader?
Yes. Well, the overall points leader anyway.
Well,
right?
I'm pretty sure he's goals because Andre's assists, so that it only rations out that's how it is.
I guess so.
Because I'm pretty sure he has more points overall than Kopi, but he's got more goals, but Kopi has
And
assists.
Sunday is the first matchup between you and me, Kings Ducks.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
Yeah.
Sunday's going to be busy. I'm going to have the Rumble on one screen and the game on the other, brother.
But due to some personal choices that I'm making, I'm not going to be able to watch it because I'm probably going to be on a plane heading back from a trip that I'm doing, and that's personal news, which I want to. Okay.
It's all good.
So,
hey, I will make sure that somebody bites the bullet and puts on a Ducks jersey for you because it won't be me.
The day you wear a Ducks jersey, oh boy, won't that be a day in hockey?
No. Let's not get hasty because there's plenty of home jerseys from the District 5 team I can wear. So.
No. You're not getting away on a technicality. You are not bringing up the District 5 jersey. I don't think so. If you are going to wear a Ducks jersey, you wear the hockey mask jersey or you wear the current logo jersey. That I will allow. You will not wear the District 5 jersey. I don't think so. I'm calling that as a Ducks fan right now.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, God.
Let's do what Lisa and I did in the 2012 playoffs when she picked Vancouver and I picked Los Angeles. All right? No, serious now. Whoever wins the season, if we make the playoffs, we'll have it decided in that series. If not, whoever wins the season series, the losing person has to wear the opposing jersey the next time the 2 teams have a game in their own arena. So if the Ducks win the series, I will wear a Ducks jersey to a Kings Ducks game and vice versa for you.
I've already done that. I've worn my Ducks gear to Staples Center.
Because you jumped the bandwagon so many times, you don't know what the hell is right and left for you.
We'll work on that bet. We'll work on that bet because me wearing a Kings jersey at Honda Center won't affect me. it won't make me feel bad because I respect the Kings. I won't feel there won't be any shame in it. There won't be any it won't make. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. Let's leave it at that.
By the way.
Huh?
Found them.
There's the Predators. Okay, good.
Okay,
we got the Predators
right.
up. Okay.
They're there.
All right.
Yep.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Let's do that.
Although that probably got us possible ratings points, I think. I don't know. We've gone so far into left field, and it's not even baseball season. All right, team number 26 at 4 points, 9 goals scored, 6 goals allowed, a 2-1 record. It's the Carolina Hurricanes, and the top player for 2 weeks in a row is Andrei Savenchikov.
Yes. Because Williams retired.
Because who?
Because Williams retired.
There you go. Team number 25, 4 points, 10 goals scored, 6 goals allowed. They are undefeated at 2-0. Florida Panthers, with Patrick Hornqvist being the top guy. He has 3 goals, 2 of them on the power play. He took over from Jonathan Huberdeau, who only has 1 goal. So next team, the team with the hot start right out the gate, it's the Dallas Stars. 4 points, 10 goals scored, 2 goals allowed. They are also 2-0. Now they didn't have a top starting player last week because they did not play. So their first week player of the week is Joe Pavelski. 3 goals, all on the power play, and 4 assists. Next team number 23. They have 5 points in the standings. It is the Arizona Coyotes. And Phil Kessel. I almost said Cardinals. Yeah, I caught myself. Phil Kessel stays upon the top for 2 weeks in a row. 4 goals, 1 of them on the power play, no assists, and no penalty minutes so far for Mr. Kessel.
On in.
Next, nope, he's staying. He's being a good hockey player and not starting any fights. The next team, 5 points in the standings, 18 goals scored, 19 goals allowed, 2, 3, and 1. It's the Buffalo Sabres. Top guy, Victor Olofsson retains. He's up there for 2 weeks in a row, 3 goals, 2 of them on the power play, and 2 assists. Team number 21 at 5 points and 19 goals scored, 23 goals allowed, a record of 2, 3, and 1. It's Chicago, the Blackhawks, and their top guy is a rookie, I believe. Pius Sutter is his name, and he scored a hat trick. He is now the 4th player to get a hat trick. And also, I learned something about the Blackhawks, that they are not going to follow suit like the Washington football team did, and they are actually embracing their Native American heritage and background. They are sticking with the Blackhawks because they did a very nice tribute to Native Americans in Chicago recently, and I think that's going to be a recurring theme during their pregame show. So big props and big shout out to the Blackhawks for doing that. Team number 20, we go into Canada with the Calgary Flames. 5 points, 13 goals scored, 9 goals allowed, and a record of 2, 1, and 1. Matthew Tkachuk, top guy, 3 goals, 2 on the power play, 2 weeks in a row.
Screw him. Anyway.
Team number 19, 6 points, 11 goals scored, 14 goals allowed, a record of 2, 2, and 2. It's my Anaheim Ducks.
They're way above the Kings this week. Ugh.
Max Comtois stays on top. 3 goals, no assists, 2 penalty minutes for Max there. Nick Delarier and Hampus Lindholm came up. They're getting up there close. If they score 1 more goal, if Delarier scores another goal, he'll take the top spot. If Lindholm can get a goal and assist, he'll take the top spot. Other than that, he might be the first 3-week player. Team number 18, 6 points, 15 goals scored, 18 goals allowed, a record of 2, 2, and 0. We go to Columbus, the Blue Jackets.
Columbus, where is Columbus on my screen? I don't see Columbus. I will find them momentarily. Maybe.
And Columbus's top guy is Nick Foligno with 3 goals, one of them on the power play. 7 penalty minutes there for Columbus. We head into Canada again. When we just talked about them, it's the Vancouver Canucks. 6 points, 27 goals scored, 34 goals allowed, a record of 3-5-1. Top guy in Vancouver. Top guy is Bo Horvat. 5 goals, 3 on the power play, 5 assists. Next up, we stay in Canada.
Huh? Oh, Grunstrom. Okay, cool. Very good. Sorry about that, Mikey. Go ahead.
Grunstrom scored a goal?
He did.
Do I have him on the list? I don't have him on the list. Wonder why. Oh, well. We stay in Canada for the next team. We talked about them earlier. Team number 16, it's the Oilers. Edmonton.
There they are.
Connor McDavid stays on the top 2 weeks in a row. 4 goals with 1 hat trick, 1 power play, and 6 assists. We come back into the States for team number 15. We're going a couple states over. It's the Colorado Avalanche.
There they are.
6 points, 18 goals, 15 goals allowed, with a record of 3-3-0. And a new guy on top, Mikko Rantanen, 5 goals, 1 of them on the power play with 2 assists. A team that Jeff and I do not want to talk about, but we have to because it's the only other California team, and they're doing the best out of all 3 of us. It's the San Jose Sharks.
Barf.
Yep, San Jose Sharks. Thomas Hertl stays on top with 3 goals and 2 power play goals. 6 points, 19 goals scored, 21 goals allowed, and a record of 3-3-0. We go to the other side of the country from San Jose to New York with the Islanders as team number 13. 6 points, 9 goals scored, 8 goals allowed, with a record of 3-2. And the top Islander is Brock Nelson, 2 goals, both of them being power play goals. Team number 12, we go from the top half of the country to the bottom half of the country. It's the Lightning. Tampa Bay, Pop's team.
Wow.
Yeah. And you didn't change the logo like you said you were.
Hey, you asked me not to. I figured it's your show.
Thank you. John Tavares stays on top 2 weeks in a row. 4 power play goals, or 4 goals scored, all on the power play.
I thought he was in Toronto.
Whoops! I'm sorry. Tampa Bay is Andre Palat. I was on Toronto. I had to go. I have them in alphabetical order. I looked at the wrong team. I apologize. Andre Palat is.
Lisa would kill me if we got John Tavares wrong because she loves her some John.
And she'll kill me too. Andre Palat too is the new top guy on the Lightning with 3 goals. Team number 11, they have 7 points. It's the St. Louis Blues. 7 points, 17 goals scored, 13 goals allowed, 3-2-1 record. We have a new guy on top, Braden Shen, who has 4 goals and 1 assist. We're in the top 10. We go from St. Louis to Philadelphia. Travis Konecny, he's still the top guy.
There you go, guys.
4 goals with a hat trick, 1 of them on the power play, and 2 assists. And the Flyers have 20 goals scored, 11 goals allowed, and a record of 3-2-1. We stay on the East Coast. We go a little bit to the north, I believe, of Philadelphia. We hit up Jersey, the New Jersey Devils.
They went way up.
Holy shit. Yes, they did. 7 points, 11 goals scored, 11 goals allowed, a record of 3-1-1. Jack Hughes is the new guy on top with 3 goals.
Jack.
We stay on the East Coast. We go to Boston next. Team number 8, 7 points, 15 goals scored, 10 goals allowed, a record of 3-1-1. Brad Marchand with 3 goals, 2 of them on the power play, and 4 assists. We go to the center of the country. Dory's team, the Minnesota Wild, who are currently playing the Kings right now, they have 8 points. And we have a new guy on top, Joel Eriksson Ek, with 3 goals and 2 assists. The Wilds have scored 18 goals. They've allowed 15. They have a record of 4-2-0.
I was telling Dad, I'm probably going to hear that name more times than my own family by the time the season's over, because he plays every freaking game against San Jose, every team I watch. It's ridiculous. He's on every damn day. Drives me bananas. Anyway, go ahead.
We go back to the East, and we're going to make Big Baller G and Greg Cherry happy. I did confirm that with them. I did confirm this with them. They are fans of the Penguins. 8 points, 21 goals scored. Sure about Jeff. 23 goals allowed, 4-2-0. And of course, the captain, Sidney Crosby, 2 weeks in a row, 3 goals, 2 of them on the power play, and 4 assists. Did I skip Vancouver?
No, you got him.
Vancouver?
You got him.
Did I say that John Tavares was still on top?
You said John Tavares. You're thinking Toronto again.
Okay. Okay, I see. Okay.
I saw the mention, by the way, so I'm pretty sure they're getting close now.
We go into Canada for team number 5. It's the Winnipeg Jets.
Okay, Winnipeg
8
Jets.
points, 22 goals scored, 17 allowed, a record of 4-2-0. Kyle Connor stays on top with 4 goals, 2 of them on the power play, 5 assists.
Yes.
Team number 4, they were the team that got fined $100,000. It's the Washington Capitals.
In advance.
9 points, 22 goals scored, 21 goals allowed, a record of 3-0-3, and Nicholas Backstrom stays on top with 4 goals, 2 of them on the power play. We go to Canada for team number 3. It's the Habs, Montreal.
Okay.
And of course, we talked about him earlier. He's got the most goals on the team. He scored the hat trick. Tyler Toffoli is the new guy on top. 5 goals and 2 assists. The Canadians have scored 29 goals, 18 goals allowed with a record of 4-0-2. There are 2 teams left, one of them being Toronto. 10 points, 22 goals scored. There's John Tavares still on top with 4 big power play goals. The man is a power play goal beast. If Toronto is on the power play, watch out. Here comes John Tavares. The team is 22 goals scored, 19 goals allowed, a record of 5-2-0. That leaves only one team left. The team Vegas, the Golden Knights, 10 points, 19 goals scored, 12 goals allowed. How are they the number 1 team? They have the best record, 5-1. And of course, the guy on top in Vegas is Shea Theodore with 3 goals and 3 assists. All right, so there's your hockey ranking. Yes.
Before we move on to our hockey-centric shout-out, I know we're only in week 4 or week 3, whatever it is.
We are in week 3.
Mikey, help me out, because I'm a little concussed, a little memory loss here. Who did I say was going to be in the Stanley Cup final this year?
I honestly don't remember either.
Toronto? Vegas.
Dun, dun, dun.
Don't mean to Nostradamus, y'all, but yeah. Anyway, all right. So the first shout out.
The
main shout
we
out.
have to. We're not shouting out yet. We have my predictions for the Rumble.
Okay. I forgot we were doing that. Honestly, I forgot we hadn't done wrestling yet. I got so lost in my hockey stuff. I'm sorry. My bad.
You did put that on tap that you wanted my predictions.
I wanted to know exactly what you're thinking. So let me see if I can do this without a medium of hassle. We're going to lose graphics for a second, so bear with me.
Oh, wow. Wrestling Rewind. Cool.
Evergreen. We are evergreen. All right. So I think I deleted them. Oh, no. Here they are. Okay. So the first match we have on tap for the 2021 Raw pay-per-view is for the WWE Championship. God help us all. Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre, the champion. What say you, sir?
I like them both. I'm very glad that Drew came back from COVID. I'm actually glad that they acknowledged. That's not a super chat, Anthony, but funny.
I know. I had it, but it's funnier now.
Anyway. I do not want to see Goldberg win this match. I want to see Drew retain this match. Now, of course, the Raw team did state that this was the only title that Goldberg has not held. Now, if they are giving him the title for that reason alone, that also makes me want to think that for some stupid reason, The Miz is going to cash in on Goldberg. That is something you would only see in a version of WWE 2K whatever. Okay, I get,
Right.
I get that, so my choice, hands down, I want to see Drew win, but don't be surprised if they give it to Goldberg and this match cannot be a squash, because that's what Goldberg's been doing the last few matches. He comes in and he squashes everybody. He squashed the Fiend. He
Lesnar
twice. He squashed Kevin Owens. You don't squash Drew McIntyre.
Nope.
You don't. My pick is Drew to win.
All right. On the blue brand, we have the head of the table, the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, defending against the stunning machine himself, Kevin Owens.
I really want to see Kevin win this match. I would love to see Kevin with another Universal title reign. But in the back of my head, I've got Roman. I'm going to WrestleMania. And I would love to see Kevin jump off the Buccaneers boat like he wanted to last year. And of course, if he did that in a title match, it would go crazy.
For sure.
I greatly respect.
The thing is, this show's not at Tampa at Raymond James. This is in the Thunderdome.
I know, but if he could hold on, if he could win and get the belt, I'm thinking in the future. Like,
okay.
I would love to see him jump off that during a title match at WrestleMania. Now he probably has the opportunity to do that.
Right.
I've known Kevin. I don't know him personally. I've known of Kevin Owens since the PWG days.
He's been
one of my.
Let's say.
Yeah, I bet if WWE is doing this, they're offering virtual meet and greets for the insane price of $125. I would not want to pay that amount to meet Kevin Owens and say, "Hey, Kevin, do you remember me from the PWG days?" I don't think he would. He's a great guy,
You'd
but
be surprised how much these guys remember. Honestly, Mikey, like I think you're selling yourself a little short when it comes to guys like Kevin or Sammy or whoever.
The only interaction I have of him was handing him a bottle of water at the end of a match with El Generico.
Sami Zayn, right?
So I don't know if he remembers that. So I'm going to say that. On the
spot.
If I was putting money on this match, I would say Roman. I really want Kevin to win, but this is one of those instances where I'm okay if I get this one wrong. I'm going to say Roman wins.
Okay, very good. Women's Royal Rumble. This is the graphic we have on WWE.com. Whatever, it is what it is. I don't have the participants in front of me. If you give me a second, I will queue them up for you.
Oh, I've already got a pick.
I'll go for it.
I'm going with the dark horse. I'm saying Alexa wins.
Really? She's a dark horse to you?
Well, look at what she wears in the ring. Here's my thing. Okay, we just watched yesterday, and after you get caught up, Alexa is doing this whole thing with Asuka and with Randy Orton and whatnot.
Right.
So I'm thinking that Alexa is going to continue her story with Randy while having the Raw Women's Champion as a backstory.
Right.
I think this whole thing between Randy, Alexa, and The Fiend is going to continue on through WrestleMania. Alexa is going to try and focus on getting the Raw Women's title back. And especially if she goes evil, if she goes dark like she did in the title match. No one is going to go near her. No one is going to throw her out of the ring. Is this the third or the fourth Women's Rumble?
8, 9, fourth.
This is the fourth. So Asuka won it the first year. Charlotte won it the second year.
Becky won it the second year. Charlotte won last year. Remember, she challenged Rhea Ripley for the NXT title.
Okay. I don't see Charlotte. I'm not picking Charlotte because I think it's still too soon for the let's have a multi-time Rumble champion.
Right.
Okay. If Charlotte stays healthy and keeps going, I would have no problem with her winning the Rumble next year. This year, I think they're going to give it to Alexa.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense to me. All right, now I don't have the graphic for it right now because I didn't know it had been announced until literally right now as I read it. But there will be a rematch for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship as Nia and Shayna challenge Asuka and Charlotte. So there is that to consider for this Rumble match as well.
That match will probably be on first, I think.
I would think so. Remember, we have 5 matches and it's Tuesday. We're probably going to get at least 1 or 2 more.
Right. I don't see any reason to keep the belts or to put the belts back on Nia and Shayna. I really don't. So I'm gonna say that Asuka and Charlotte retain, but they need to do more stuff together as a tag team and not break off into their separate. I mean, I'm glad that Lacey actually has a storyline with Charlotte and Ric Flair. I'm glad they're giving. Yeah, Asuka's doing her thing with the Raw Women's title. I get that. That's fine. Charlotte's doing her thing, but now they need to come back together and like, hey, we're the tag team champions. We need to be a tag team, and maybe Charlotte will lend some assistance with Alexa, and maybe Asuka will lend some assistance with Charlotte. You never know. So I'm saying the tag titles retain.
All right. So in the men's Royal Rumble, so far announced, Daniel Bryan, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Otis, The Miz, Jey Uso, Cesaro, Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura, Big E, and announced last night on Monday Night Raw and on Twitter during the course of the day, John Morrison, Sheamus, Mustafa Ali, Elias, and the returning Rated R Superstar, Edge. So as of right now, we've got 18 of 30 announced.
Right. I'm going to go with what I've been wanting to see for the past few years. I'm going with Daniel Bryan.
Okay. All
right. I don't see Randy winning it because of the whole thing with the Fiend and whatnot. I think something's going to happen during the match where you're going to get another tease. And if by some miracle the Fiend shows up again, they can continue that storyline. Like maybe the Fiend will pop up, pull Randy out of the ring, and he'll be eliminated. So I don't see him winning it. I'm glad that Edge is coming full circle.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he's a winner, right? He's won it before, right?
And he's won once. Yes.
Yeah.
He's the 2010 champion.
I don't see him doing it again. Other than that, I don't see Shinsuke winning it again. I don't see anybody else. All I'm seeing is Daniel Bryan. I think a story between Daniel and Roman would be a great build-up, and Daniel can bring the title home for his children to play with. I would love to see that. We've been wanting Daniel to win the Rumble for years. I say this is the year we do it. Give the Rumble victory to Daniel.
All right. Well, there you go, kids. Stat Boys Royal Rumble predictions as of Tuesday. There we go.
There you go.
All
right. So
I usually do plugs in this slot, but I did the whole big emotional thing.
We did the whole big thing.
So. Huh?
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. I did the production trailer silly, so I wanted to do plugs. I wanted to get right to the shout outs. Now it's not really a shout out. We've agreed. It's more of it gets on your nerves and you want to address it on the air. So
I should have been talking about this during the basketball portion of it. I watch a lot of TNT. I watch a lot of, Inside the TNT. Of course, they have Shaq on one end. They have Charles Barkley on the other one. Shaq has no vault. He'll say whatever he wants. He'll tick off whoever he wants because he's Shaq.
Right.
Charles Barkley plays the other side of the fence. He's like, no, you're wrong. Now, I don't know what kind of a relationship Shaq and Charles Barkley have when the cameras are off, but these two are going at it like a couple of people that, one sitting on one side of the fence, one sitting on the other one with a glass of iced tea, saying he's right, you're wrong, back and forth, whatnot. If you go on YouTube and you find, the best of Inside the NBA on TNT, Shaq loves to tease Barkley about not winning an NBA title. No rings. Barkley would like to shoot back on Shaq, saying that Kobe and Anthony Davis carried him up and down the court all those years.
Yeah.
Guys, you have your opinions, but I mean, come on. This is getting too much. I can't take it anymore. I turn the TV off. Stop it. You're entitled to your opinions. I get this. But when you're bringing up the same stuff episode after episode after episode, it's starting to get boring. I would love to have Shaq on here, and I would love for him to rip into me if he wanted to. He probably would, too, because if he ever sees this video, then I'm like,
he's a big man, Mikey. Be careful.
I would love to. I would love to. I wouldn't know what to do seeing, if Shaq was here. I want to see how big he is in real life. But come on, guys.
Put it this way, Mikey. When I went to Unforgiven in 2002, and I was literally going to the bathroom over on the lower bowl of Staples Center, and I was heading that way, I walked near Shaq and his son, and his bodyguard knocked me on my ass. And lying on the floor of the Staples Center, looking up, even sitting down, he was a good 7 feet. It's like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, he's a big man. Be careful.
Now, of course, when the cameras are off, they probably hug it out. Hey man, that was good, and all. And if they are, then this rant just got pointed out the window. I would hope that they respect each other as basketball players. But the on-camera stuff, it makes for great TV. But then as soon as it's kind of like what you do, you mute or you turn it off and you don't watch anymore. So I just wanted to get that little shout out there. Guys, come on, don't saying that Kobe carried you, especially now that he's gone. That might be a little bit out of taste. That might not be good, but that's
it's not always right to do that, but I understand where Charles is coming from, and it's. To a certain extent, Charles is right. Shaq had the benefit of a great team. Barkley never really had a solid team behind him, like Jordan did, like Kobe did, like Shaq did. And God, we had Showtime out. Everybody played well back then, so it really depends. And Barkley got a bad hand. Ended up on some poopy teams. It is what it is. So
it is what it is.
By the way,
all right, Jeff. The rest it is what it is. All right, the rest of the shout-outs are yours. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I appreciate that very much. I'm going to go ahead and take the tickers down because I do have this be...
the tickers are...
So first off, I want to wish a very speedy recovery to a very dear friend who I've known for... it was 16 years this past New Year's Day that we really got acquainted the first time, and we've been chumming along ever since here. My buddy Sean Waltman, who... went in for ACL, MCL, and meniscus surgery that he's needed since roughly 2007, 2008, depending on when his match with Adam Pearce was. Because I'm pretty sure Adam brought up that it was against him that Sean suffered the injuries that he has dealt with for the better part of the last 15 years. So speedy recovery, Sean. You had your surgery down there in Santa Monica at the UCLA facility. I hope you are up on your feet soon, and kicking ass is all you can do, my friend. I love you. I miss you. And I hope all is well with you and yours at Xbox 1360, which is a tremendous podcast. I'm so glad they've come back. Can't wait to listen to the next show whenever he does.
And now, Sean Waltman, you have an open invitation to come to the sports bar anytime you'd like.
My brother, and you don't even have to drink. So there you go. So with that, I want to end the shout outs on a happy note rather than a boo-hoo note because Sean's hurt and he's recovering, which is fine. Today is a very important birthday in the realm of the NHL circle. This gentleman today was born 60 years ago today. He has since gone on to become the greatest scorer in the history of the game. I only don't say greatest player because Bobby Orr is a thing, and my dad's convinced me of that in my later years here. So here now is my tribute because I'm going to lose money on this, and that's fine. For him, I'm okay with it. I am so tickled that his two major record-breaking feats have been documented on air by Bob Miller with him in a Kings uniform.
Happy birthday, Mr. Gretzky. 60 years old. God bless you, sir. If we had a cake, I'd bring you one right now.
When Dad came home, I'm like, can you believe Wayne Gretzky is 60 years old? Like, what the? Like, I know I'm younger than him and forever will be, but it's like, it's just like, it blows my mind that the greatest ever scorer in the game is 60 today, and he still looks in pretty good shape. So,
he still does, yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Wayne Gretzky, come into the sports bar. The fans will love it.
and Wayne, on behalf of everybody, thank you most of all for fathering Paulina Gretzky. We love you for that, sir. Yes. Okay.
Well done, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming into the sports bar tonight. Next week is going to be another week of basketball and another week of hockey. There is no football next week as we're getting ready for the Super Bowl. So just remember that I might do, if I get going with it tonight, I could get started on a season in review type of thing, team by team. We don't know yet. Of course, stay tuned to the Facebook page. Buy those squares. Please get a hold of me somehow. I really want to get this game going. I don't want to have to send out refunds because nobody plays. And all I can say again is thank you for watching. I will see you all next week. Next week will be, I believe, week 6 of the NBA and week 3 of the NHL, along with week
4. Week 3 now.
Right. And of course, we can do the results from the Royal Rumble as a filler. Thank you all for watching. See you next week. Stat Boy out.
Don't mind me. Oh, shit, wrong one. There it is.